I'm Brie K of TheseAreTheSounds.com, and in this video I am going to give you 5 ways that I make my beats sound more professional. Kind of like cheat codes, if you will. But first, this is the intro. So the first cheat code is EQ. I use a 7-band EQ and on pretty much everything except for the kick and except for the bass or the 808 sound, I usually will do a low shelf and cut off, it's like a curve. You know what? I'm gonna show you a video of it. I normally do a low shelf and cut off the bottom 50 hertz. I normally cut out low middle frequencies because those can make a sound really boxy, and then I tend to raise my high middle frequencies and my high frequencies just slightly to give a sound some air. This usually helps me clear up the mix and add some brightness, and it's not always necessary for every single sound, but when it works, it really works. Number 2 is sound selection with reference tracks. So what I will normally do as I'm picking my sounds is reference them against commercial tracks that I like. I don't copy their sounds exactly, but what I do is search for the same frequencies in my sounds that are in theirs. It doesn't have to be exact, and usually it's not, but a quality beat starts with quality sounds, because what you don't want to do is like get to the end of your beat and then figure out like, oh shoot, I need to like mix all of my sounds to make them sound decent. Whereas if you just pick decent sounding sounds from the jump and kept that in mind as you were making the beat, it makes things sound so much more professional, and this is especially applicable with your drum sounds. Do not be afraid to reference your kick against a commercial song that's similar to the feeling of the kind of beat that you're making. Don't be afraid to reference your kick against a commercial kick or your snare against a commercial snare, and make sure that like the same level of frequencies are in your kick and snare that are in a commercial track to really make it work and make it really sound professional, because your drums are usually gonna date your track, so you want to make sure that they're current if you're trying to get like a really professional sounding track. If you're being more creative and stuff like that, they don't necessarily have to be current, but it just helps me a lot when I'm really trying to make like professional current sounding tracks. The third tip is transitions. I will usually use FX risers, you know, like those things that are like that type of thing. And then I also will use white noise. I talk about white noise in so many of my videos. If you watch any of my Rewind videos, I talk about white noise so much. I use white noise a lot so that you can feel a transition. You don't necessarily always like hear the white noise, it doesn't stand out. I do try to make it blend in, but you do feel it. I also sometimes will use drum rolls, sometimes toms, sometimes snares, something that'll drum roll to let you know we're going into the next part of the song. Just adding transitions between the different parts of your beat, like to let somebody know we're going from the hook into the verse, okay, we're going from the verse into the hook, okay, we're going from the hook into the bridge. Just that little difference really adds like a touch of complexity to your beats that will make them sound more professional. Number 4 is drum loops. You might be thinking, duh, we all use drum loops in all of our beats. But the thing about drum loops is toward the end, what I will usually do is see what the mix is lacking. So to me, if the mix sounds too boxy, then I'll try to find drum loops that have more high frequencies in them. To me, if the mix sounds too thin, I'll try to find drum loops that have a bit more warm frequencies in them, and of course I'll mess with the EQ on them to make them have those certain frequencies that the beat is otherwise lacking. It can take a beat that just sounds like bare and regular to like complex and professional with just 1 or 2 drum loops added. I hope that makes sense. I hope all these make sense. So the 5th thing is sidechain. I sidechain my bass or 808 to the kick in almost every beat that I make. Okay, I'm gonna have to read this one, so don't judge me for looking down right now. Sidechain is a compressor setting where you set the compressor to only act when it is signaled by a particular sound or channel. Sidechaining helps make the mix clearer and keeps the 808 and kick from distorting each other when they play at the same time. And a clear mix is key when it comes to sounding professional. So you may have been watching this video and thought she keeps talking about the mix and not necessarily about the beats, but having a clear and quality mix is like really important when it comes to having your beat sound professional. Making those few changes that I suggested can really take your beats to the next level if you're looking to do that. Also remember to mix with your ears and not your eyes, because that is something that you can get caught up doing if you're not careful, if you're not aware of that. You can look at an EQ and think, oh, I gotta start moving stuff around because it's just a flat line. when that's not necessarily the case. Listen for the changes that you need to make and mix with your ears. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I think that is everything. If you like my beanie or my shirt, you can go to thesearethesounds.com and check out the new spring collection that has launched. I'm super excited about it. If you like the beat that's playing in the background, you can also go to thesearethesounds.com if you're an artist looking for beats, or if you're a content creator looking for background music for your videos or for your podcast, thesearethesounds.com. If you made it this far into the video, chances are you probably kind of liked it, so please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment and let me know any tips that you have that can help out the rest of us to make our beats sound more professional, because we're all just out here trying to make our beats sound professional, you know what I'm saying? If you are not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, especially if you've watched like 3 or 4 of my videos already. You may as well just go ahead and subscribe because you're already here. Also, please click the notification bell to make sure that you get notified every time I post a video. And if there's any suggestions that you have, leave those in the comments as well. If I'm able to help, I will definitely do that in a video. Thank you so much for watching. I think that that's everything. Okay, peace out.